Her voice wasn't meant to filter through my speakers that evening. I was headed home, half delirious from fatigue. My phone synced automatically to the car's Bluetooth. Then her laughter emerged, accompanied by a man's voice, my wife's companion. Once he transfers the property for the tax advantages, we'll have everything necessary to begin our new chapter without that fool. They laughed once more. The resonance of it scraped down my vertebrae like steel on bone. I remained motionless, suspended my breathing, simply absorbed it all. I recall her inflection, honeyed, assured, merciless. She'd never sounded that animated with me. That evening, I chose not to confront her. I arrived home, idled outside, and observed the illumination dancing in the kitchen window. When she emerged to welcome me, beaming as though nothing had shifted, I pressed my lips to her forehead. I even inquired about her day, because I understood then that my performance wasn't concluded. It was merely commencing. We'd crossed paths 6 years prior. She was laboring late at the firm where I provided consultation. Incisive, stunning, the caliber of woman who could transform silence into currency. She smiled effortlessly in those days. I confused aspiration with devotion, interest with genuine care. I believed I'd discovered someone who truly perceived me. It turned out she saw straight through me. The property was her proposition, our eternal dwelling. She advocated for my name to appear on every single document for fiscal purposes. She claimed she managed the documentation, the attorneys, the mortgage modifications. I believed her. Trust. That was the initial victim. Following the Bluetooth evening, I began detecting the sequences, the midnight messages she'd respond to in the corridor, the abrupt business excursions, the manner in which she'd erase her communication history and grin as if she hadn't. It wasn't the infidelity that wounded most profoundly. It was the theatrical display. Every declaration of love transformed into a rehearsed dialogue. Every embrace a meticulously calculated gesture. I ceased being her spouse that week. I became her spectator. Day 1 of 87. I prepared breakfast as usual. Day 4, I relocated my finances discreetly, methodically. Day 9, I consulted a colleague who concentrated on business law. I inquired about property distribution in circumstances of deception. Purely theoretical, of course. Day 22, I contacted the property broker who'd facilitated our acquisition. I discovered something valuable. Her authorization wasn't present on the updated title, only mine. She'd advocated for that. Tax advantages, correct? Day 39, I installed a surveillance device in her vehicle. Not for confrontation, for documentation. By day 61, I possessed 32 hours of recordings, schemes, clandestine meetings, fantasies of a future financed by my resources. I documented every syllable, marked each timestamp, secured duplicates in remote storage under an identity she'd never uncover. She never detected my withdrawal. Not genuinely. She interpreted my composure as devotion. I permitted it. I authorized the conveyance documents she prepared on day 86. She kissed me afterward. I recall contemplating how absurd it was that she still carried the scent of the woman I'd once cherished. That evening she messaged him, he signed it. It's finished. I observed her compose it, watched her delete it, then reformulate it twice before transmitting. I smiled. This morning, day 87, she awakened to discover the property vanished. Not tangibly, naturally, but juridically, monetarily, irreversibly. At midnight, I submitted a fraud declaration through my attorney, appended the recordings, and conveyed the deed into a private estate. Unreachable, impenetrable. Mine. Every document she'd corrupted, every form she'd counterfeited bore her electronic signature. The identical proof I'd silently safeguarded. Her paramour's enterprise now facing investigation. His finances immobilized. My attorney ensured that. And myself? I departed on a flight at daybreak, kept my phone activated, allowed the pandemonium to pursue me. 142 unanswered calls before I touched down. Her name pulsing like a cardiac rhythm on the display. You'd assume betrayal would breed hatred. It doesn't. It cultivates understanding. You perceive their mechanisms, their franticness, their appetite for something they cannot merit, so they seize it. She appropriated my devotion, my confidence, my tranquility, so I appropriated her destiny. When she comprehends the estate remains untouchable, when she grasps that every maneuver she executed guided her directly into a juridical trap of her own construction, she'll comprehend something as well. I didn't retaliate from rage. I retaliated from exactitude. I envision she's in the living area presently, circling, perhaps weeping, perhaps contacting that man who won't respond because he's already detained for fiscal evasion. His voice, his identity, his laughter, all preserved in my archives. She'll attempt to contact me again. She'll attempt to plead. But I've finished being her spectator. I once believed marriage concerned constructing something collaboratively. Apparently it's also about comprehending how to deconstruct it silently when one foundation crumbles to decay. The documents she had me authorize were never submitted. The ones I submitted made her an accomplice in her own destruction. 87 days. That's the duration required to obliterate her strategies and compose my conclusion. This morning I transmitted her one message before deactivating my phone, for tax advantages. Then I embarked on my flight. Window seat, black coffee in hand. The dawn resembled liberation. Costly, soundless, and warranted.